How's it going, everyone? It's Avi from Weather Sponge 5000, and today we're going to take a look at the sea surf temperatures in the Atlantic as of right now and see how they'll change coming into the hurricane season and how it'll affect the amount of tropical cyclones we experience this hurricane season. But before I begin, make sure to subscribe if you want to see more weather-related content. Make sure to like if you like this video. Make sure to turn on post notifications if you want to see even more weather-related content. So to begin with this analysis, let's take a look at the sea surf temperatures, the sea surf temperature anomalies right now. And of course, we're in late March now, approaching April, and as you can see throughout the western Atlantic, we're seeing sea surf temperatures much warmer than average, which certainly isn't good news when it comes to hurricane season, because of course warmer than average sea surf temperatures encourage more tropical cyclone development, because there's a lot more of an upward motion in the atmosphere for a lot more convection to occur and a lot more low pressure systems to develop rapidly into a tropical cyclone. And however, if we take a look at the main developed region, the region that's most synonymous with where a majority of tropical cyclones develop, you see that currently sea surf temperatures are cooler than average, which is certainly good news. And the hope is that this stays this way into the hurricane season. However, not to completely dash your hopes, but it seems more likely that we're gonna see the sea surf temperatures warm up over the next several months, to a point where we're gonna see sea surf temperatures rise above average in the main development region of the Atlantic. And one of the reasons why is, if you take a look at one of my previous hurricane season videos, one of the big factors we're still in is a positive Atlantic multi-decadal oscillation, which pretty much means that more likely than not, most of the northern Atlantic will experience warmer than average sea surf temperatures, and I expect that to continue into this hurricane season as I do expect the sea surf temperatures to warm up in the main development region over the next several months. However, I still do expect the warmest sea surf temperatures to be located more towards western Atlantic, since it's already much warmer than average, and it's gonna be very difficult for the main developed region to reach that threshold this hurricane season. So there's more likely of a shot that we're gonna see more tropical cyclone development further westward than usual, like I said in my previous video. But overall, I still do expect most of the Atlantic to experience much warmer than average sea surf temperatures this Atlantic hurricane season. So as a result, it should encourage more tropical cyclone development over this hurricane season. Now, to show you guys what the CFS model forecasts in the future, so let me show you guys first the monthly anomalies when it comes to sea surf temperatures. So let's move on to April. You see that in April, most of the Atlantic is experiencing much warmer than average sea surf temperatures, with the only exception being the main development region. But you do see that as of right now, the sea surf temperatures in the main development region are noticeably cooler than average. But you see that as early as next month, in April, we do see the temperatures rise to more meet an average threshold when it comes to sea surf temperatures in the main developed region. If we were to continue to move forward, you see in May, the increasing temperature trend continues for the water temperatures just off the West African coast. And not only just for the main developed region, but for the Western Atlantic as well, we do see readings that are higher, much higher than average. Even comparing it to the months of March and April, we're seeing the sea surf temperatures rise well above average still in the western Atlantic. So it definitely should encourage more tropical cyclone development, and I think there's a pretty high probability that we will see at least some sort of tropical cyclone develop in the month of May. I do believe that we should begin really considering to push back the start date of the hurricane season, because we've been just seeing such an influx of tropical cyclones develop in the month of May. So I think it's definitely going to need to at least be in consideration. But my point is that there is maybe that possibility we could have an early start to the hurricane season as a result of these warmer than average sea surf temperatures moving on to the month of June. you see that the main developed region gets warmer than average, but you see the northern Atlantic gets much, much warmer than average just off the coast of Canada, and then head into July. And you see this continues all throughout the hurricane season, just much warmer than average sea surface temperatures in the main developed region. However, there might be maybe some good news where just off the West African coast, sea surface temperatures are slightly cooler than average, and that's expected to continue like that for the rest of the hurricane season. However, this area is way too small to really make a major difference in terms of tropical cyclone development, because typically tropical cyclones in the main developed region develop much further westward than this area, because this, of course, we do see a strong northerly current that brings sea surface temperatures cooler than what the hurricanes need to develop, which is below 79.5 degrees Fahrenheit. So I don't expect this cold patch you see right here to necessarily make a major effect when it comes to the amount of tropical cyclones that develop, not only for the main developed region, but for the hurricane season as a whole. So I don't expect it to make a major effect, unfortunately, as I do expect much more tropical cyclones than average as a result of a much warmer than average sea surface temperatures expected for this hurricane season. And another thing that I think is definitely important to take a look at is also the summer forecasted temperatures for the United States, because of course if the air temperature is very warm, then that energy will transfer to the sea surface temperatures just off the United States coast. And if we were to take a look at the temperature anomalies this summer, it's expected to be much warmer than average for the most part. So I do expect sea surface temperatures to be warmer than average all throughout the Western Atlantic. So make sure to keep that in mind for the areas that easily get impacted by the hurricane season. Now, here's my summer forecast I made a few weeks back, and you see that I'm expecting much warmer than average temperatures throughout the United States. Now, of course, this isn't a summer forecast. This is my analysis on the sea surface temperatures in the Atlantic, but I want to point this out because if the land temperature is going to be a lot warmer, you could definitely assure that the temperatures just off the coast will be warmer than average as well. So this is why I want to point this out, that most likely we're going to experience much warmer than average sea surface temperatures that will encourage much more tropical cyclone development, because there's just going to be a lot more of an upward lift in the atmosphere as a result of these warmer than average sea surface temperatures, more convection, more buoyancy with the air molecules, and that will encourage tropical cyclones to develop in the Atlantic. So that's something to keep in mind, along with a La Nina that typically destabilizes the atmosphere in the Atlantic. You can rest assured that, well, I shouldn't say rest assured because it's definitely not necessarily good news, but you could be sure for the most part that this hurricane season will be well above average when it comes to the number of tropical cyclones. So make sure to keep that in mind along the coast. So now let me show you guys my forecast when it comes to where the warmest sea surface temperatures will be located. So of course in the Western Atlantic, this is where I expect sea surface temperatures to be much warmer than average, and that could dictate where more tropical cyclones develop this hurricane season, because if the sea surface temperatures are more warmer than average in, let's say, the main developed region, there could be a little bit more lift in this area for more tropical cyclones to develop in this area rather than this area where the air might be a little bit more stable, because the air here is a little bit less stable. And of course, when there's an even amount of buoyancy in the atmosphere, there needs to be an even amount of sink with the air molecules, and we're going to see that buoyancy in this area. So I do expect there's going to be some patches where the air will be a little bit more stable for the main developed region, but I still do expect sea surface temperatures to be much warmer than average for the main developed region. So overall, it should be a more active than usual hurricane season as a result of these sea surface temperatures. So make sure to keep that in mind throughout the Caribbean, the United States, and anywhere else that gets impacted by the hurricane season. But remember, whether it's more active, less active, or around average this hurricane season, just know that all it takes is one storm to completely change the lives of millions and completely destroy a community. So don't underestimate a hurricane season just because there might not necessarily be as many tropical cyclones as you'd expect. So make sure to keep that in mind going into this hurricane season as well. But yeah, guys, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more with related content and more hurricane analysis videos like this. I plan to do these over the next several days as well, taking a look at every single factor of the hurricane season. So make sure to stay tuned, and I hope you guys have a great day.